Howdy. This is a video about mountain water once again. I've been mentioning at the end of the last video that there is a place in the Alps which is very active at the moment, near Gap. And there's also another one which is very active at the moment. In my paper, I ponder about the core of Earth, which I think could very well be a plasmoid. Since it's a part of the electric circuitry of our solar system, there are Birkeland currents flowing through Earth, and it might get pinched at the center of Earth. That's where the heat is coming from. And of course, this is not to scale, and it's a very sketchy image. What to do? I'm not a CGI person or a computer person. These are the spots, I think. So this is a lab plasma. These are the spots where I think we would find volcanic activity, of which geothermal activity is a part of. You can watch this picture. Basically, I think Earth is somewhat like a geoid, but alive. Brig floods in 1993. I have been there a few weeks after the floods. I saw the mess. Of course, I saw the news. And this is in the Swiss Alps. It's in the Valais Valley. Brig is situated in one of those main valleys or alleys in the Alps, not too far away from the Alps' biggest glacier, the Aletsch Glacier. In the valley itself flows the Rhone River, which discharges into the Mediterranean Sea. Brig also has geothermal activity, which is used for a thermal bath. Where have we? A new geothermal energy plant is planned there too. Furthermore, is there also a mineral water spring in relatively close proximity to the city. Around 10 kilometers, but about 1,000 meters higher, is Lake Bortel, a small lake with a crater or caldera-like form. From close inspection of satellite images, yeah, if I would still live in Switzerland, I probably would have gone there. It is obvious the edges of the lake contain different layers of sediment. Some seem to be piled up in a manner like you would expect when there is high water and fine-grained sediment involved. It is very well possible that this lake had an eruption in recent times, at least once. This lake is the stream Saltina's source. The Saltina was blamed for the floods. The name Saltina comes from the Latin word saltare, to jump, and has records of flooding as early as the 14th century. We have to assume the stream's name is no coincidence and can be seen as a warning from the ancient people. Like earlier mentioned, many hints were there in plain sight all the time. May just have been overlooked or they aren't taken serious anymore, because for a long time nothing happened. The knowledge died out. A huge amount of water poured out of it in a very short amount of time. There was water. The water was quite likely perfectly drinkable in quality. This possibility should be taken into consideration. This is an assumption based on the absence of news about the water being poisonous. I don't know. I don't remember having heard anything that's poisoning water or something. Because many of these types of mountains which spill out drinkable water and carry glaciers are actual volcanoes, it makes sense that no one expected them being actual volcanoes. The floods in Brig were perhaps a non-poisonous cold lahar, a flash flood which is related to volcanic activity. Bad weather, heavy rain, and lightning were documented at the time of the event, indicating a huge electromagnetic potential was provided from the atmosphere. As much as the water which drops from the sky has different speeds according to the strength of the discharge, lightning may also reach upwards from the ground towards the heavens. Possibly, a weather system with enough electromagnetic potential could trigger an eruption from a sleeping cold water geyser, i.e., a cryptogeyser. The following pictures illustrate an explanation. The Portelsee. Portelsee V, whatever that means. The drainage path to the city of Brieg. And this is how the lake looks. It has a caldera or crater-like shape. And if you look at the pictures of how the ice is shaped or something, it seems that it is fed from below. And here we have still the map with the Bortelsee, the plant geothermal energy plant, and the thermal bath. So we have definitely geothermal activity, which I see as volcanic activity. Conclusion. Possibly glacier-carrying mountains and mountains with craters on top which are fed with groundwater, hence lakes, should be called cryptogeysers. Because they are active geological features, they should be treated with respect because they can be very dangerous. Millions of people live within the Alps region and many probably totally unaware of the danger potential of their environment, while glaciers are considered as contemporary lava streams made of water, which means it is a part of a volcano, which do erupt with water, each according to its own frequency. This explains glaciers in a totally different context from the commonly accepted science. By the way, Grímsvötn volcano in Iceland is one of Europe's biggest volcanoes and is buried under Europe's biggest glacier. This may be not so much of a coincidence after all. Maybe if you have read this paper and you didn't manage to go to the very end of it, you probably wouldn't have noticed that there is an addendum. Because there has been some things turning out as I already submitted the paper, so I just thought they are so important. I really would like to have them still within the paper. My research about this topic is far from over and new evidence appears daily. The substitute shows 3 things which I thought are so important pieces of evidence worth adding but weren't included in the paper. I have been talking about crystal caves or huge crystal occurrences beneath the Alps or within the mountains no one knows about because they are hidden. The Nika crystal caves in Mexico. Note the human for size comparison. So huge crystal caves are existing. Poas volcano. In my paper I talk about cryptogeysers. It is a term I invented in order to describe water sources which could produce sudden and unexpected rather large eruptions, mostly by water. We have to keep in mind that the main trend in geothermal volcanic and seismic activity has been decreasing for a long time, maybe several hundreds of years. As a possible indicator of decreasing geothermal activity, we could take the abandoned castles in Central Europe. The reason for them having been abandoned might not only be political, but also the well which provided the inhabitants with water dried up. Another example could be some findings by archaeologists which found ruins of Roman-built baths but no water. We are talking about cyclical events, so we have to conclude the activity might increase once again. Yeah, I will not make a really big read through to that. But Bruce Laban brought the Poas volcano to my attention because its eruptions that is often described as giant geyser-like eruption. It can produce water columns up to 4 kilometers high. A giant geyser indeed. Yeah, imagine a 4 kilometers high water column shooting out of the earth. Yeah, I really would like to see that once. And probably you're gonna hear that. And there is also the possible hydrogen emissions related to cryptodome activities. Conclusion. Maybe the hydrogen anion is the white rabbit. Through its negative charge in great abundance, it could be the root and source of all alkalinity, the reason for why the white rivers are white and why Earth is a blue marble. Earth's surface has a net negative charge, as earlier shown with Thornhill's repellent core, so it might be not a coincidence that hydrogen accumulates at the surface and makes life on Earth possible. In the Birkeland current, hydrogen and oxygen are also found. There is a letter missing. On the outer side, as on Earth, the atmosphere, where we are. So now let's check out some quakes. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Yeah, there's a lot going on. That's the area in question. Let me just quickly show that we aren't too far from Brick. And as always, it's very hard to find the Bortelsee. Bortelhorn? Haha. Bortelsee. Bortelsee V. I have no idea what that V is. But it still approximately looks the same. But anyway, not too far, we have the Aletsch Glacier, which is here. Then, now let's zoom out a little bit. That's the biggest glacier, Briek, and the Bortelsee V is somewhere here. Here's the Matterhorn, everybody knows. And here is the quake activity. Let's turn this around a bit. Mont Blanc, the White Mountain. The highest peak of the whole Alps. So we maybe have to assume that this part of the Alps is rather high in general. It's a big mountain. Grand Juras, I have been talking about Grand Juras, I think several times already. Because there is earthquake activity. And it is in a way the same mountain as Mont Blanc. It's not far. 6 kilometers, 5 kilometers? Let's say 6. It's a little bit hard to see here. You can see the distance from Mont Blanc to the quakes. There is stuff going on. Courmayeur, 4 days ago, 1.4. There are several on the same location. It's rather hard to tap on these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 quakes in 7 days at the same location. 4 days ago, there's just 1. Then we have here quake, here quake. 0.6. Now let's check out how deep they are. 2 kilometers. That's measured from sea level. There has been some other places where I had there, here, now we go. 1, 2, 3. 3 in 7 days. 1. Yeah, we have to go closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 quakes. And here is yet another location where we have many quakes at the same place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Yeah. So there is something going on. I was playing around with my sketchy little laptop because I thought it would be easier to make a video about the region there. And yeah, I'm still practicing. But that's a region I am keeping a close watch on. Because we are talking about the highest peak of the whole Alps, and we are talking about earthquakes. We are talking about glaciers. Many of them. Mer de glace. Very amazing looking features. Les moulins de la mer de glace. Yeah. There is another place where we have at least 2 quakes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Yeah. And the blue lake. Let's have a quick look at this. Yeah, it's rather clear. Lac bleu. Yeah, check out all these boulders. And I don't know if these are quartz veins. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe I try to make this kind of video. Because it's different to use this kind of computer-like device compared to this phone. Yeah. I don't know. Has anybody else noticed this? That there is some area in the Alps where something going on. 15 hours ago. 15 hours ago. 3 days ago. 2 days ago. And this is going on for quite a while. Months, I guess. At least weeks. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, actually, before I forget it, Bac régional, Livradois-Forêt, maybe. That's a volcano. This is all Jean de Pouille. Where is the mark? Clermont-Ferrand, Jean de Pouille. Which is a huge area. It's big. Let's say like that. And you can see it in the mountain wallpaper. It's rather hot. And there is another volcano here. Kaiserstuhl Volcano. Probably extinct. Yeah. Only probably. Maybe the scientists are wrong. It's not extinct at all. There wouldn't be any water coming out there anywhere if it would be totally extinct. And also, La Palma is shaking again. But anyway, this could be continued forever. Yeah. Mountain water. Mont Blanc shaking. Hmm. Thanks. Bye.